Yep, you know what time it is, man. This is, of course, your favorite channel, man, CTB. It's Chin Tuck Boxing. I'm your boy, Jay Slay. What up to him, man?
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in.
Most definitely, you know what you guys should tune in to, man. This is the segment we call here Chin Check. Between Rocket Guys' channel, boxing news, boxing information, boxing rumors. Sometimes we give you some money by putting some. Sometimes we give you some money by giving you the odds of the fight. But today we want to talk about it seems like to be a long-going beef, man. I'm happy for this drama, to be honest. It's a long time coming. And Shakur Stevenson got a lot to say about it. In my honest opinion, it seems like all three of these guys are coming into their prime. So, of course, when that happens, the shit talking started to come to an all-time high. I'm talking about the 135 division, man, the hottest division in boxing, with Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, and the champion, Devin Haney. They all seem to be on the crash course to fight each other, man. What do you think about the recent trash talking going on between Shakur Stevenson's camp and Devin Haney's camp?
I like it. I just feel like we're getting a lot of that in boxing. I want to see fights. You know, you got Frank Martin and Keyshawn going back and forth. Earl Spence and Crawford had they little back and forth. You know, like you said, with Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, and they going back and forth. Tank Davis went back and forth with a couple of guys at 135. So we at the stage now where, you know, it's put up or shut up. So it's like, I understand that Haney has a fight coming up in a couple months. Next month. There's a fight coming up, and Stevenson just had his fight. So, you know, after Lomachenko fight, you know, he's open again. If he's not going to 140, let's try to make those fights and stop all the talking. So I'm fine with the trash talking as long as we get the fight behind the trash talking.
Yeah, I agree. Like you said, all these guys had a fight coming up or had a fight already. So that's, to me, it's just promotion. But I honestly think it's more than just promotion a little bit, because all these guys, like I told you behind the scenes a second ago, all these guys are coming into their prime around the same time. If you watch shout out to the Breakfast Club yesterday, Shakur Stevens was on the show yesterday. He kind of said it all. He kind of said that, you know, him and Devin grew up together. He always was a weight class behind Devin, but now that now that he got his grown man strength, he's always got the better of Devin. But now that he got his grown man strength and they are in the same division, he anticipates Devin moving up again. But he said, and Chase said he doesn't. He said Devin wanted to fight. He said he don't accuse Devin of ducking if that happens. He just say that he got too big for the weight. But he said if that fight happens, he expects to win. He said he expects to win against both Devin and Tank. He didn't go into the particulars of who he thought was gonna be an easier fight, but he did say, you know, which fight brought the money and which fight brought the belts. So which fight would you want to see first? Would you want to see him go after the legacy and go for the belts against Devin Haney, since they are now going back and forth a little bit? Or would you rather see him going in and try to not tank off and try to get that #1 spot financially?
Me as a fan, I would say I'd rather see him fight Devin Haney first. And the reason why I would say that is, if he fights Devin Haney first, the winner of that fight becomes a mega fight with Tank Davis. So it's almost like a short tournament, you know. So you got Ryan Garcia against Tank Davis, and then you have Shakur against Haney, with the two winners fighting each other. So if I could have it in the perfect scenario, I would take Haney and Shakur first, because the winner of that would still be undisputed, and then you would have a huge Tank Davis fight with the moneymaker and Tank Davis to add to having legacy also involved in the fight. So I think to make the fight bigger, I would want to see Haney versus Shakur first, and then the winner fighting Tank Davis.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I just hope Devin Haney doesn't outgrow the weight too fast, because like I said, who knows how many fights he has at 135 left. We're hoping that he sticks around for these two mega fights. Possibly, you know, be some rematch clauses in those fights. I'm pretty sure if the belts will change their hands. But yeah, I do hope that he fights Devin Haney first to get the belts. Because I think Shakur Stevenson needed it at that weight class. Because you have Tank Davis, who already has a name, so he doesn't need a marquee win. Then you got Devin Haney, who is going against Lomachenko next. And I think that Lomachenko, if he beats Lomachenko, that's going to give him a level of stardom that he can compete with Tank Davis a little bit, in my opinion. But Shakur Stevenson at 135, he don't have that level of competition. He don't have that level of clout yet, in my honest opinion. He can't say that he beat anybody at 135 that warrants the fanfare to be there for him. Even though he does have a large fan base, I think at 135, a lot of people are still picking, you know, people picking Devin Haney to be the best. People picking Tank Davis to be the best. And people kind of sleeping on Shakur a little bit, him coming up from 2 weight classes below. But we already know what your opinion on the matter is. You already said that you thought that, you know, he was going to beat the shit out of Tank Davis when they fought. Do you think he had that same type of success when he fight Devin Haney, or if he fight Devin Haney, you think it'll be that type of a one-sided affair in your mindset?
Yeah, I don't think it'll be one-sided, but I think he'll clearly win. I don't think it'll be up for debate, but I don't think he will wash him like 10-2, 11-1. But I see 8-4. I just feel like, just looking at all the fighters, I just feel like Shakur is the best at 135. I feel like overall, only thing I questioned was his power, and I still got a slight question with his power, but it seems like he's adjusted to the weight of 135 well. Moving up 5 pounds out. He had questionable power at 130, but sometimes it could be because you squeezing down into a weight that you too big for. You know what I'm saying? I can go back with example with Terrence Crawford. When Terrence Crawford was at 135, he won't really laying guys out like he was at 140 and 147 because he was kind of cutting himself down to 135 to get belts, and he didn't have as much power. But once he went to 140, 147, which is division he was more accustomed to, his power followed. So the same thing could happen for Shakur Stevenson. So that's the reason why I would pick Shakur Stevenson for maybe 116, 112 win over Devin Haney.
It's gonna be a boxing fest. Both of those guys, in my honest opinion, on the films that I have done on them, both of them guys are. They're boxers first. Of course, they're both, especially Shakur Stevenson. He does have the ability to slug. He does have the ability to trade punches. Devin Haney, he does. When he fought Kambosos, he did have the second fight where he did sit down more of his punches, where he was chasing a knockout. But that's not his normal. That's not his. He only does that when he's comfortable with the opponent he's fighting, in my opinion. He got comfortable with Kambosos, so he sit down on his punches more. I don't think he'll do that with Shakur Stevenson. Like Shakur Stevenson said on the interview with the Breakfast Club, he said that he's been getting there. Well, from when he said out his mouth was he been getting the better of Devin. He been pretty much beating Devin up since they were kids. So with that in the back of Devin's mind, I think he's gonna be more on the back foot when he fights Shakur Stevenson. So Shakur Stevenson will be coming forward first. But with Tank, it's a different story, bro. Like I told you back and forth, Shakur Stevenson only throws punches like that when he fighting somebody he don't have that pop like that. I think the threat of Tank Davis's power will have both of these guys gunshot, both Tank and Devin. If only way I see them beating Tank will be if Tank just can't land a shot, which is the same thing people say about Wilder. Only way people see Wilder win the fight is Wilder don't land that shot. Every heavy hitter who has the boxing ability that Tank has, who has the IQ that Tank has, but the only flaw of his is that he's shorter reach on all those guys. I'm still going with the guy that got the punching power, dog, and the boxing ability. Because I think when them guys get clipped, we seen Devin get clipped a little bit. We seen him get rocked when it comes to Linares. He showed he had a good chin. He took the punch. He bounced back well. It took him a round and a half to get back there, but he got back there.